My GG, by Everlasting Abundance LLC to every GG out there. The unsung architects of futures. The fierce guardians who build empires from empty cupboards and hope from shattered dreams. 2. The grandmothers, mothers, aunts, and sisters who shoulder the weight of generations with a sigh and a steely gaze. Whose love is a force of nature, as unyielding and vital as the concrete beneath our feet. This is for you, for the resilience you embody, for the lessons you impart, with calloused hands and unwavering spirits. May your stories be told, your sacrifices honored, and your strength continue to echo through the lives you have so painstakingly shaped. You are the anchor in the storm, the compass in the chaos, and the living proof that love, in its most enduring and powerful form, can indeed conquer all. For every late night worry, every early morning hustle, every whispered prayer for a better tomorrow, this is for you. Chapter 1. The concrete jungles keeper the air in the two-bedroom Bronx apartment hung thick and heavy. A perpetual perfume of simmering beans, damp laundry, and the undeniable scent of 5 growing boys. It was a scent that clung to the worn linoleum, seeped into the threadbare upholstery, and settled, almost like a second skin, onto everything and everyone within its cramped confines. This small dwelling, perched on the 3rd floor of a building that had seen better decades, was GG's kingdom. Its chipped formica countertops the perpetually steamy, windows that offered a distorted rain-streaked view of the urban sprawl, and the peeling paint on the doorframe were all details GG knew intimately catalogued and understood like the lines etched onto her own weathered hands. This was her domain, a space meticulously carved out of necessity and fortified by sheer will, a testament to her unwavering role as the matriarch. GG wasn't a woman who yielded easily. Life had a habit of testing her, of throwing curveballs designed to knock her off her feet. But GG, forged in a crucible of resilience that would have melted lesser souls into puddles of despair, had only grown stronger. Her gaze, a steely blue that seemed to bore straight through pretenses and excuses, was legendary. It could stop a charging bull, or at least a charging grandson barreling towards a questionable decision. Her demeanor was decidedly no nonsense. There was little room for coddling or sugarcoating the often brutal realities of their existence. Yet, beneath that formidable exterior pulsed a heart that beat with a fierce, protective love for the 5 young lives entrusted to her care. These grandsons, each wrestling with their own unique battles, were the anchors in the tempestuous sea of her life, and she, in turn, was their unwavering harbor. The apartment itself was a microcosm of their existence, a place that was both a sanctuary and a cage. It was a space that demanded ingenuity, where every inch was optimized for maximum utility. The living room, rarely pristine, served a multitude of functions, a play area for the younger ones, a makeshift study space for the older, boys hunched over textbooks, and the primary gathering point for the family's often boisterous interactions. The kitchen, tiny and perpetually in motion, was the heart of the home. Meals, prepared with a frugal hand and an abundance of love, were communal affairs, the small table often overflowing with plates, elbows, and a cacophony of voices. The single bathroom was a daily battleground, a microcosm of the boy's struggle for space and individual identity. Mornings were a synchronized ballet of hurried ablutions, jockeying for position and time, all orchestrated by G's firm but fair directives. The hum of the city outside, a constant symphony of distant sirens, honking horns, and the indistinct murmur of street-level life filtered through. The thin walls, a soundtrack to their lives, a constant reminder of the world beyond their immediate sphere. Gigi's presence commanded a unique brand of respect, a complex alloy of genuine affection and a healthy dose of apprehension. It was a respect earned, not given freely, forged through years of unwavering dedication, of sacrificing her own needs for theirs, of shouldering burdens that would have crushed many. She was the anchor, the steady hand guiding them through the choppy waters of their youth, ensuring they didn't drift too far off course. Each grandson, in his own way, understood the depth of her commitment, the sheer force of her will that kept this fragile ecosystem intact. They knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that Gigi was their protector, their provider, and their unyielding moral compass. The apartment wasn't just a collection of rooms. It was a living, breathing entity, a testament to the lives lived within its walls. The worn linoleum, scuffed and faded in the most trafficked areas, bore the silent history of countless footsteps, of children running, of Gigi's own tireless pacing. It had been mopped, scrubbed, and endured, much like Gigi herself. The windows, perpetually misted from the steam of cooking and the breath of their concentrated efforts, offered a blurred panorama of the city, a world of possibilities and pitfalls that Gigi constantly tried to shield them from or prepare them for. Even the faint smell of mildew in the bathroom, a persistent enemy Gigi battled daily, contributed to the apartment's unique character. A characteristic smell of a home lived in, loved in, and fiercely defended. Within this intimate setting, Gigi orchestrated a symphony of survival. Her mornings began long before the first rays of dawn dared to pierce the urban haze. A quick splash of cold water on her face, a strong cup of coffee brewed on the sputtering gas stove, and she was ready. Ready to face the day, ready to face the boys, ready to face whatever challenges the concrete jungle decided to hurl their way. Her presence, a steady, reassuring force, was the glue that held their disparate lives together. She was the silent guardian, the watchful eye that saw everything, the unwavering matriarch who ensured that even in the heart of chaos, a semblance of order, and more importantly, of love, prevailed. She was the keeper of their home, and in a more profound sense, the keeper of their very souls, navigating them through the treacherous currents of their upbringing with a strength that was as inspiring as it was formidable. Her reign in the Bronx was not one of opulent palaces or gilded thrones, but of worn linoleum, steam-filled windows, and the echoing chorus of youthful voices that she guided with an iron will and an immeasurable heart. Her mastery over this domain was absolute, yet nuanced. Gigi didn't rule with an iron fist so much as with a finely tuned intuition honed by years of observation and lived experience. She understood the subtle shifts in a grandson's posture, the flicker of fear in an eye, the telltale silence that signaled brewing trouble. Her domain was the apartment, but her vigilance extended far beyond its four walls. Permeating the very fabric of their lives, the worn linoleum was more than just flooring. It was a map of their daily journeys, marking the paths to school, to the corner store, to the shadowy alleys they were warned never to tread. The perpetually steamy windows weren't just a source of condensation. They were screens through which Gigi often projected her own anxieties and hopes, watching the world go by, always with an eye towards her charges.